Hey y'all, I just want to go over some of the questions that we didn't get to in class so that way you can watch these at home when you're confused. These again are the notes for the one-step equations. This is what we did on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then Thursday we'll be getting multi-step equations. So one-step equations, these are some of the ones that we did not get to in class. So number 11, we're going to follow our 5-step process. First, we draw our golden rule line. Whatever we do on one side, we must do on the other. That's our golden rule. Second, we simplify. So we look on the right side. Is there anything I can simplify? Look, I see 12x and a 2x. I only want one variable on each side, so I can combine those two. So I'm going to combine 12x plus 2x. So 12x plus 2x is 14x. And then I still have my plus 4. I can't combine him because he does not have a variable attached to him. He's a constant. Then I look to my left. Is there anything I can simplify? Nothing I can simplify here. It's just 39. So I've just got 39 on this side. Step 3. I'm going to label my side. So I'm going to label my variable side and then my everything else side. So the left side this time happens to be my variable side. I've got my variable x here. So I'm going to label this my x. That's telling me on this side, x is the only thing that needs to be left over at the very end. This side I'm going to label my everything else side. This is where I'm going to put all the other numbers that I don't want on this side. Step 4 is the fun part. We get to start moving stuff over and solving equations. So we get to add and subtract next. So I've got this 4 over here. It's an addition 4. So I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to subtract the 4. And what's our golden rule? Whatever we do on one side, we must do on the other. Subtract 4. Positive 4 minus 4 is 0. So he's gone. Then we've got 14x left over on this side. On this side, we've got 39 minus 4, which is 35. Last step. We get to isolate the variable. Isolate the variable, remember, means getting the variable all by himself, getting him on the side where it's just x. So I've got a 14 times x. What's the opposite of multiplication? Division. So I divide 14 divided by 14 and 35 divided by 14. So 14 divided by 14 is 1, so I'm left with 1x on this side, which is what I want. Yay! And then I've got 35 divided by 14. So this is going to be a fraction that we can simplify into 5 over 2. That's the answer I'm getting for this one. Now remember, like I said in algebra, all the answers are not going to be pretty. You're not going to end up with whole numbers every time. We are going to get fractions and decimals, and that's okay. That is a valid answer. So now I'm not done yet. I must check. I have a way to check myself and make sure I'm right every time. We're just going to plug in 5 over 2 everywhere we see an x in our equation. We're plugging in 5 over 2. That's what we got as our solution. So there's a way to do it on the calculator I showed y'all today in class. So I'm going to remind you what to do. So first I've got, let's see if y'all can see that, 12 times, remember the parentheses, your calculator knows that means multiplication. And I've got 5, and remember to do a fraction, we're going to do divided by 2. Then I've got plus 4 plus 2. I'm plugging in my 5 over 2 for x again. 5 divided by 2. Close my parentheses. Now I've got an equal sign. So remember how to do that. We're going to do second, the blue button up here, math, 1, and there we have our equal sign. And then we put in the right side, which is 39, and then I press enter. When we put it in, we get 1. Remember that 1 means that this is a true statement. When we plugged in our solution, 5 over 2, it is true and it works. If we got a 0 here, that means it is false and does not work. So we are good. We plugged it in and we checked 5 over 2 is a solution to the equation. We're good. Yay! Perfect. Okay, 12. Some of us did in class, some of us didn't. First step, Draw our line, golden rule line. Second step, simplify. Is there anything we can simplify on here? At first glance, it looks like no, but I do have this multiplication right here. I've got 3 times z plus 7. Now this means I'm multiplying, this 3 is going to be multiplied by the z and also the 7. This is called our distributive property. So I'm going to multiply 3 by z and then also going to multiply 3 by 7. So I've got 3 times z is 3z plus 3 times 7 is 21. And then I have over here, there's nothing to simplify. So just left with 21 over here. Next step, I label my variable side. I've got my variable over here, so I'm gonna make this left side my variable side. This time it's z. And then I'm gonna make this my everything else side. So at the end, I should only have z on this side and everything else over here. So first, we get to step 4, and we're going to add and subtract. We get to the fun part. We get to solve. So right here I've got plus 21, so I'm going to subtract 21. Whatever I do on this side, I must do to the other side. Golden rule. 21 minus 21 is 0, so I'm left with 3z over here. 21 minus 21 is 0, so I'm left with 0 over here. Last step, we got to isolate that variable, get it all by itself. So 3 times z, we're going to do the opposite, 3 divided by 3. So instead of multiplying, we're dividing. Whatever I do on this side, I have to do on the other. 3 divided by 3 is 1. I'm left with 1z equals. 0 divided by 3 is 0. So I get z equals 0. Again, I'm going to plug it in and check just to make sure, because we can always check. We should not be getting problems wrong because we can check. So I'm going to plug it in exactly how I see it up here. I'm going to plug in everywhere I see a z, I'm putting in 0, my solution. So I have 3 parentheses, 0 plus 7, close parentheses, equals, that's second math, 1, 21. And then I hit enter. I get a 1, that's a true statement. That means z is a solution. This is a solution. We're good. Now I'm going to go do this one. I'm going to start moving just a little bit faster so the video is not as long and you can just see how to work these out. Line, distribute, label. 4 is the fun part, add and subtract. Now I need to isolate my variable. -4 divided by -4 is 1, left with z. -6 divided by -4 is 3 over 2. It simplifies to 3 over 2. So I get z equals 3 over 2. Not done, we must check. -4, parentheses. I'm going to do an extra set of parentheses because I've got a fraction, 3 divided by 2, minus that 12. Close my parentheses for this one, the big one. Second math, 1, equal sign, 42. We get a 1, it's a true statement. So 3 over 2 is the solution. Okay, this one looks a little bit crazier than the others, just another step in it, nothing harder about it. You got this. So first step, draw my golden rule line. Second step, simplify. Can I simplify? Well, I guess I can. I've got the distributive property. I can't do on this, I can't simplify on that side, but I can over here. So I've got 12r, distribute, that -3. Remember, subtraction signs are negatives. This all goes together. -3 is being distributed to 9. So I've got -3 times 9, -27. And then -3 times the -r is plus 3r. Am I done simplifying? No. I have an r here and an r here. I only want one r when I start getting to the fun part. So I need to simplify more. So I can combine this 12r and this 3r. 12 plus 3 is 15r minus 27. Now we can go to the fun part. 4, we get to add and subtract. Start getting rid of stuff. Oh wait, I forgot a step. We need to label. So this side, the left side, is my everything else side. There's no variable over here. Everything else, and then this is my variable side. In this case, it's R. So the only thing left should be R on this side. Now we get to the fun part. I was too excited. I want to skip ahead. So we've got this negative 27. So I'm going to do the opposite, plus 27. And whatever I do on one side, I have to do to the other side. I'm left with 15R on this side. And then 33 plus 27, we get 60. Last step, isolate the variable. 15, divide by 15 because we're multiplying. So we're left with R equals 4. Real quick, we're not done. That one had more steps, so we really need to check. It's crucial that we check, especially with more steps. So I've got 33, second math, 1. 12, instead of that R there, I'm going to put a 4 minus 3, parentheses, 9 minus 4, close parentheses, enter. We got a 1. It is true. We're going to do our happy dance now. Okay, number 15. Let's go a little bit faster. It's just like 14, just different numbers. That's the cool thing about equations. It's the same thing, just a few more steps and different numbers. Once you get it, you got it. So we're going to draw a golden rule line. Then we're going to simplify. I can simplify on this side. We're going to distribute. So I've got 7 plus 3 times 2g is 6g. 3 minus 6 is negative 18. And then I've got negative 29 over here. Can I simplify this more? Why, yes, I can. I've got a 7 and a negative 18. I should only have one constant when I get started. One variable and one constant on each side. So I'm going to combine 7 and negative 18. So negative 18 plus 7 is what we're going to do. So we should get negative 11 plus 6g minus 29. Step 3, we label. This has my variable, so this is my g. We should have g at the end, and this is my everything else side. Put everything else over here. Next, fun part, add and subtract. I've got a negative, so I'm going to add. And then I'm going to do negative 11 plus 11. That's 0. 6g is left on this side, and then negative 18 is on this side. Last step, isolate the variable. I'm multiplying, so I'm going to divide by 6. Whatever I do on one side, I got to do the other. That is 1, so I'm left with g equals negative 18 divided by 6 is a negative 3. Now hold on, let's plug it right back in. So I've got, whoop, y'all can't see that. There we go. So I've got 7 plus 3, parentheses, 2 times negative 3 minus 6, close parentheses, second math, 1, negative 29. We got a 1. We're good to go. Yay! So this is our answer. G equals negative 3. Okay, 16. We've got a word problem. Let me move this up so y'all can see it a little bit better. I don't know if I can get this all in here. So it says, your school's drama club charges $4 per person for admission to play. The club borrowed $400 to pay for costumes and props. After paying back the loan, the club has a profit of $100. So step A, or the first question asked is, write an equation. Let X represent the number of people who attend the play. So X is our variable. X is how many people attend the play, right? So if they're charging $4 per each person that comes in that play, how are we going to find out how much we're going to get paid? So $4 per person times however many people come in, which we don't know. That's our unknown. That's our variable. So $4 times however many people come in. We're still wanting to know that. But wait, the club borrowed $400 to pay for costumes and props. That is key information. I would box, highlight, whatever you like to do, that information. Borrowed. So borrowed is going to mean we deduct it from our total cost. We don't get to keep it at the end. So we make all this money, but then we've also got to subtract the $400 for those costumes and props. Then it says, after paying back the loan, the club has a profit of $100. So after we got our tickets, we subtracted our loan for the costumes and props. At the very end of the day, we made $100. So all this is equal to $100. Okay. So then B says, how many people attend the play? Well, we've got in our equation, X is how many people attend the play. Look, this is an easy one-step equation we've got now. This scary word problem turned into an easy equation. So now we're just gonna solve like we've been doing for the past 15 problems. I'm just gonna rewrite it over here so we can do our step. So first step, draw that line. Second step, can we simplify? Nope. Nope. Third step, label. Here's my variable. X should be left on this side, everything else on this side. Then we get to the fun part, add and subtract. I'm gonna add the 400. I'm left with 4x, and then I'm left with 500 over here. Next step, divide to isolate that variable. I'm left with x equals 500 divided by 4, which is 125. So how many people attended the play? 125 people. That's our answer. So not scary, just a few more steps. We actually had to write our equation, but not scary. Okay, so 17. You have 36 feet of fencing to enclose in a rectangular pen for your dog. To provide sufficient running space for your dog to exercise, the pen should be 3 times as long as it is wide. Find the dimensions of the pen. So, I don't know about y'all, but I'm such a visual person. I need to see this picture. I can't just read the words and know what's going on. So I'm going to actually draw my pen. I know it's rectangular, so I'm going to draw a little rectangle. And it says the pen should be 3 times as long as it is wide. So it never told me how long it is wide. So I'm just going to name it W for wide. That's my variable. I don't know. And then the length, these sides, is 3 times this. So 3 times W, 3W. Right? So now I've got a picture of what it looks like. I've got my variables. It told me I have 96 feet of fencing, right? So we need to enclose the pen to provide sufficient running space for our dog to exercise. We need to make sure it's 3 times wide, which we have, and then the width. We need to find the dimensions now. So, if you recall, to find the perimeter, what do? We add up all the sides. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna add. I've got 3W plus W plus 3W plus W. That's just perimeter. Y'all been doing that since elementary school. Next, I know I have 96. I can't use more than 96. So all of this fencing needs to equal 96. So I can get the bang for my buck. Oh my goodness, look, we have an equation, just like what we've been doing. There's a lot more variables, but we know how to do that. It's just simplifying. So first step, we need to golden rule line. Second step, simplify. Can we simplify? Oh my goodness, yes, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 W's here. We only need 1. So we've got 3W plus W, we're at 4W. 4W plus 3W, we're at 7W. 7W plus W, we're at 8W. 8W, and then this side, we're already good. So I've just got 8W equals 96. What an easy peasy equation. We have nothing to add or subtract. We're just going to isolating the variable. I'm going to divide by 8 on both sides. W equals 12. So, are we done? No, because I need to find the dimensions of the pen. So I need to find the width and the length. So width, we did find. That is 12, right? That's 12 feet. The length is 3 times W. So 3 times, we just found W, 3 times 12. So length is equal to 64 feet. Not 64, my bad, 36. Just making sure y'all were paying attention. 36 feet. So our width right here is 12 and our length is 36. Hope that helped. If y'all have any questions, feel free to message me on Remind, email. Remember, your homework is due Friday. We will go over multi-step equations. See y'all in class.